Okay, in this spot we're going to be getting our hands dirty as we have a look at the new DC Comics, DC Designer Series Amanda Conner, figure number 2, Spacesuit, Harley Quinn. So the opening end of that video, I had her actually on her display stand. Yes, she does come with the same display stand as the other Harley Quinn that we looked at, the traditional Harley Quinn. Just a standard circular display stand with the Harley Quinn logo, a little crest decorative on the top there. One peg hole, one peg, I always say peg hole, one peg hole, obviously giving you an idea as to which foot will go into which part of the display stand. The choices are very, very few. Currently decked her out in all her accessories, and that's not 100% true. The accessory I could not accessorize her with is the giant space pizza that comes included with this figure. Glorious looking specimen of the space pizza. Looks like extra cheese to me. It's pepperoni, mushrooms, ooh, looks like anchovy, no, olives, maybe anchovies right there, I don't know, peppers. That's the kind of pizza that I would not ever order. Apparently space pizzas, that's what they look like. Some nice facial representation here on the space pizza. I love the eyes, love the big sticking out teeth, nice touch. It's a very, I was going to say soft, it's far from it. It's a very rigid, solid piece of plastic. The space pizza, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Going back to the point that we looked at before, we're discussing before, I've accessorized her completely in all the things that she comes included with, minus less the space pizza. She comes with a blaster, a very nice Flash Gordon kind of inspired blaster that has a really interesting little spiral, almost phone cable that comes out from the end handle portion and comes out to the end here. I like that. One of the more complicated matters of interest here is the face, or more importantly, the face that is covered in the space dome. I'm calling it a space dome. It's not that. I know it's not that. The space dome. Let's get a better look at the face. Yes, the face actually is a really nice touch to this particular figure. It's got a lot more personality than the traditional Harley Quinn that we looked at first. I almost think I should have looked at this figure first. This I may not necessarily cater, as mentioned in the other video, to every Harley Quinn fan out there. Maybe a more desired, I gotta pick up every single Harley iteration, may be more inclined to pick up a figure like this. But you gotta give it, this figure's got some boisterous personality expressed across the face. It's hard to even make out the face because, yes, she's got the space dome over top. It's very difficult, or one would think it's initially very difficult to get the pigtails in place, but surprisingly it's actually not too bad. When you get it initially out of packaging though, the spacesuit helmet is not attached, so you have to do all this yourself. You have to take this out of the packaging and finagle this yourself. One of my big conflicts of interest is the fact that the pegs that attach the dome together are clear. You can see that there's almost the developing start of a stress mark there. I hope that's not going to be problematic, but I cannot probably stress this enough. Do not attach, remove, attach, remove. Don't want to consistently do that because I'm sure that stress mark will develop into a crack, will develop into a break. I just had to actually pick up the pigtails. So basically, when you get her out of packaging, she looks like this. That's bare bones Harley Quinn. You could really attach the hair pieces on their own without actually adding the helmet. And for that, you can't just put them any which way that you want. There is a specific shape to the placement of these pigtails. And those just peg into place. As quickly as I say that, watch me not then get them in place. There we go. And they attach into place, and really, without the helmet, she looks really good. Let's spend some time, viewership time. Let's delve and look further into the face. Face is really nice. Again, broken record, yes, I sound like a broken record. The face is really good. Big smile on her face, big surprised, wonders of the universe eyes painted across Harley Quinn's face here. Some nice dark outlining here in the eyes and eyebrow portions certainly add to what would be an otherwise fairly pale looking face. Face sculpt though is really good on her. Some additional things is the fact that they painted in the pupils, they painted in the offsetting blue to pink eyeshadow, which is also a nice touch. But again, like the head sculpt is quite good. Now when it comes to getting her back into the helmet, the easiest thing I find to do is take the pigtails off. Obviously you have to do that. Find the back portion of the helmet, which is this one right here. And don't put the front on yet. Kind of use this opportunity to line everything up as best that you can. And I just kind of hold it like this, kind of like that. That's a good example. There we go. And then just kind of feed the pigtails through and line them up while you've got only the back section of the helmet attached. Then you can very easily hold everything in place, line up the pigtails like that. I can't stress this enough. Do not, oh, for the love of God, do not attempt to put all of this on first and then try to put on the pigtails. You will be, my friend, filled with angst, frustration, anger. This way you can accommodate by incorporating the pigtails, saving yourself a lot of peace. And there's the completed look. So let's get a gander at some of the extra detailing to the figure itself. Some nice gold here in the back thruster section of her jetpack, tipped off here in the silver. I like that the outfit, still carrying a Harley Quinn look, is offsetting the black from the red, and has some black and red accents there as well. Shinier is the road that they went with. Shiny is the road that I'm glad they went with, as opposed to giving her a matte color. It actually even just carries more the idea that this is a spacesuit. The idea to be more, a little bit more shiny. Now the areas of the white here in the shoulders and the corresponding arms is not quite a white. A white? No, it's actually more like a kind of pearl white. You can slightly maybe make it out. It's a slight off-white. Has almost like a bit of a pearl tint to it, which also carries over then to the boots that seems to be more prevalent, but it has that same sort of carried over pearl color here in the boots as well. Speaking of the figure though, from the standpoint of standing, posability we'll look at in a second, but I guess one little nitpick I can make about the figure is I wish that she actually had maybe like an ankle swivel. You can get her in pretty good poses, especially by incorporating the fact that she's got extra knee articulation with a double hinge that you don't see too often with DC collectible figures. But if they had only incorporated like a little ankle swivel, it could certainly help a little bit getting the figure to stand better, especially if you want to do a little bit more dynamic poses with Harley here. Posability, as I'm sure you could probably imagine, is a little difficult when it comes to the head. You kind of have to hold the helmet, and yeah, you'll do this a lot. You'll pop the pigtails off in the process. But you kind of have to, there we go, you kind of have to hold the head or decide right off the bat which way you're going to pose her, because guaranteed, there's really not a lot of, you can apply some pressure to kind of get it further down on her neck, but it's still moving this. Yeah, you're going to just kind of pop all these pigtails right off the figure. So you might want to decide in advance which way the figure's going to turn and then maybe put the helmet on. Only want to do that a couple more times though. Shoulders hinge out and a full rotation going on there in the arms. A bend, single hinge in the elbow. Doesn't rotate. And then you got a rotation and hinge in the hands. Nothing in the upper torso. The legs, however, do split out. A forward and back motion. Double hinge on the knee, which is a nice touch. Nothing here. And then you've got just an ankle pivot right at the bottom here. No swivel. Could have gone a long way. You just have the single standalone hinge here. For last looks, I've actually just taken the blaster, which something I didn't mention. The blaster sits poorly into her hand. In fact, there's really very little that keeps the the ray gun in her hand. Actually, both hands are culprits for very poorly holding this. But the last look I forgot to actually incorporate into this review is the fact that you can take the end portion of it and put the cap little plug there on the end of the cosmic cap gun, so to speak. Still wish it could have actually held better into her hand. Surprisingly, this actually is a figure I like a little bit more than traditional Harley. It's certainly a desired look, not by everybody. Casual Harley Quinn fans may pick it up because it's quirky. I think of the 4 figures, might even say this is my favorite. The superhero Harley Quinn and the holiday Harley, though I haven't had a chance to pick them up just yet. I would say this is probably my favorite Harley Quinn from the 4 figures. She's got likable personality. She's certainly different. The only thing I probably would say, the pigtails are problematic. If you want to dare say the bad word that starts with a G, it's glue. You could use glue. You could glue the pigtails right in, and then you wouldn't have any problems whatsoever. You could rotate this a little bit easier. If you don't want to use glue, yeah, you're probably going to have several different discussions with your pigtails as you rotate this, and these will probably pop off from time to time. The space pizza, always a nice touch as well. Yes, this is definitely a fun Harley Quinn. Don't overlook the fact that she's got a spacesuit on. This is actually one Harley Quinn I would really recommend. Today's a spot we were checking out. There she is right there. We were checking out the Amanda Conner DC Designer Series. By the way, this was figure 4, and this was the Spacesuit Harley Quinn. You guys like what you see here? You have the power. You can click that subscribe button. You are capable of doing it. Hit the subscribe button. You can be entered into this world, which we call this reviewing area. You can watch these videos whenever you want. There's also playlists. Check those out whenever you get a chance. And certainly as well, support your local comic book stores. Allows you to get some really cool swag like this from time to time. Certainly more videos to come, guys. See you next time.